NHOA was born as a spin-off of the Politecnico di Milano and Politecnico di Torino. Our Chief Technology Officer is a visiting professor at the Politecnico di Milano. Our Deputy Chief Technology Officer is coming from the Politecnico di Milano. We have many connections with both the Politecnico di Milano and Torino. More importantly, we run on a daily basis dedicated program for our talents, dedicated executive PhD for our talents, and most importantly, we're going to launch very soon a dedicated program for women coming from the Politecnico di Milano that we call Girls at Polimi. Innovation is at the core of competitiveness. You cannot be competitive at a global scale if you are not able to innovate on a daily basis. And at the core of innovation, you have R&D, for sure, but most importantly, an attitude towards R&D, which is a bit different, which is extremely oriented to entrepreneurial spirit, to lateral thinking, and to unconventional thinking. If you sum up those four aspects, essentially you have a new way to innovate, which is fundamentally linked to doing things on a daily basis, making things happen, and making things happen in an unconventional way. If you're able to couple all that into the traditional processes of a company, then the result is a competitiveness. Competitiveness which has to be at global level. Essentially, this is the ability to survive, because the current market we have today, which is undisputably a market composed by three different segments and three secular trends, which is energy storage, e-mobility, and electrical vehicle infrastructure, are sectors that today are ready and are real big markets. However, what brought us here? Essentially the ability, as said, to survive, to have a vision many years ago, to be able to resist, raise capital, and continue to develop technology, and then when the market take off, you should be there. You should be there to capitalize on years of investments, on R&D, of talents raising that eventually led us to a global international positioning. Well, actually it's very simple. Less than 2 years ago, ENGIE decided to announce the sale of its stake in ENGIE EPS. Then, in less than 2 years, we decided to heavily shift on e-mobility, signing a joint venture with Stellantis and creating Free2move eSolutions, one of the largest players in Europe in e-mobility. Then eventually TCC, one of the largest conglomerates in Asia, acquired the shares, the EPS shares from ENGIE, and we are now part of a large group based in Asia that acquired our company at an enterprise value of 240 million. And then eventually we launched Atlante, which is the largest EV infrastructure for fast and ultra-fast charging of electric vehicles in Southern Europe. And then, most importantly, in order to complete our plans and having the resources to execute that plan, we raised recently 140 million capital increase in the equity capital market, which has been 1.4 times oversubscribed. This is what we have done in less than 2 years to secure our future and, most importantly, to secure the ability of NHOA to be a global competitive actor at the global scale. Talents for us are people that do not simply wait for things to happen, but they make things happen on a daily basis. They have an obsessive ambition of making a difference with their work, with passion and with hard work. This is a talent. Actually, it's very easy because as a management team, we are heavily involved with the best universities in Europe, and in particular with the Politecnico di Torino and Politecnico di Milano. Essentially, we try to attract the best talents coming from the best universities in Europe, US, and Asia. And we have dedicated program to attract them with dedicated benefit, dedicated welfare, very high pace, and most importantly, the benefits they get is that around them they have just talents. And essentially in NOAA, it's impossible to have a standard person, but any people that is sitting around you is by far a talent, irrespective of the university, irrespective of the geography, and irrespective of the language. In NOAA we have 24 nationalities. Italian is not the main language. The main language spoken in the company is English, and paradoxically also even a bit French. And this extremely international environment with many talents around you is a fantastic stimulating ecosystem in which you feel proud to be part of an entrepreneurial story. You feel part of it, and that's the reason why you do your best to make the difference every morning when you wake up. Thanks to the wonderful program you have just finished, you now have all instruments to make the difference, not only for your career, but most importantly, to making a difference for our planet. Thank you and congratulations. Thanks to a program like this one at Alta Scuola Politecnica, you will have all instruments to shape a better future for you, but most importantly, a better future for a next generation living in harmony with our planet. So, thank you very much and good luck.